I stopped hanging clothes in my closet 3 weeks ago. It started the night I reached for my winter coat. The temperature had dropped suddenly, one of those October cold snaps that catches you off guard, and I remembered I'd shoved the coat somewhere in the back of my closet last spring. I opened the door, reached past the shirts and jackets hanging in front, and pushed my hand deeper into the darkness. That's when my fingers brushed against something warm, not fabric warm, not the residual heat of a light bulb or the ambient temperature of a closed space. This was skin warm, body warm, the kind of warmth that pulses. I yanked my arm back so fast I nearly dislocated my shoulder. My heart was hammering as I fumbled for the closet light switch, that little plastic knob that's always been finicky. When the bulb finally flickered on, there was nothing there but hangers and old jackets swaying slightly from my disturbance. My winter coat hung exactly where I'd left it, buried behind everything else. I stood there for a full minute, staring into that cramped space, trying to rationalize what I'd felt. It had to be the sleeve of my bathrobe, I told myself. Body heat lingers in fabric, especially in small enclosed spaces. That's a thing, right? Or maybe the heating vent had kicked on and I'd felt a pocket of warm air. Yes, that made sense. I grabbed my coat and closed the door. The next morning, I found all my shoes arranged in a perfect line just inside the closet. Toes facing out, like soldiers at attention. Every single pair, from my work boots to the sneakers I hadn't worn in months. They'd been scattered before. I'm not exactly the tidiest person. But now they were organized with an almost obsessive precision. I live alone. I've lived alone for 2 years, ever since my girlfriend moved out. There was no one else who could have done this. I checked the windows. Locked. The front door's deadbolt was engaged, chain in place. Nothing was missing. Nothing else was disturbed. Just the shoes. Maybe I'd done it myself, I thought. Maybe I'd been sleepwalking. I'd done that as a kid, my mom told me. Woke up once in the kitchen with a half-made sandwich. People do all sorts of things in their sleep, right? Organize shoes, rearrange furniture. Perfectly normal. But I didn't believe it. That night, I started piling my clothes on the chair in the corner of my bedroom instead of hanging them up. The closet door stayed shut. I even turned the lock, one of those flimsy button locks that wouldn't stop anyone determined, but it made me feel better. For 3 nights, nothing happened. Then, on the 4th night, I woke at 3 a.m. to the sound of hangers sliding on the rod. That slow, metallic scrape of metal on metal, the sound of something pushing through clothes. Searching. I lay frozen in bed, covers pulled up to my chin like I was 6 years old again, afraid of the monster under the bed. The sound continued. Scrape paws. Scrape paws. Like whatever was in there was being methodical. Patient. When I finally worked up the courage to look, the closet door was open just a crack, just enough to see darkness beyond. The button lock hung uselessly, unlatched. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. When dawn finally came, I opened the closet fully. Everything looked normal. Clothes hanging undisturbed, shoes still in their line. But there was a smell now, something I hadn't noticed before. Not unpleasant exactly, just familiar in a way I couldn't place, like the scent of my own bedroom, but concentrated. Stale. The sounds became a nightly occurrence. Always at 3 a.m., always the same patient searching through fabric, and every morning the door would be open just a crack, no matter how securely I locked it. I stopped sleeping in my bedroom. I tried the couch for a few nights, but I could still hear the scraping from down the hall. Distant, but distinct. I started sleeping with earbuds in, white noise turned up loud enough to drown out everything. But you can't run from something that lives in your own apartment. Last night, I decided to take action. I wedged my desk chair under the closet doorknob before bed, jamming it in at an angle so it couldn't possibly open. Then I took an entire roll of duct tape and sealed the edges of the door, top, bottom, both sides. I used the whole roll. When I was finished, that door wasn't opening for anyone or anything. I felt triumphant as I climbed into bed. Finally, I'd sleep through the night. I woke to that familiar sound, scraping, sliding. My phone screen read 3 a.m. The chair was still in place, wedged exactly as I'd left it. The duct tape was unbroken, every strip still adhering to both door and frame. But through the crack in the door, the crack that shouldn't exist, that couldn't exist, I saw movement. A shadow shifting between my clothes, darker than the darkness around it. And then I heard it, breathing that matched my own, inhale for inhale. When I held my breath, it held its breath. When I exhaled shakily, it exhaled too. I wanted to run. Every instinct screamed at me to get out of that room, out of that apartment. But I couldn't move, couldn't even turn my head away. The shadow moved closer to the opening. Slowly, deliberately. And a hand emerged from the darkness, pale, thin-fingered. It gripped the inside of the door frame. It looked exactly like my hand, down to the small scar on the thumb from when I'd cut myself on a broken glass last year. The same slightly crooked pinky finger from where I'd broken it playing basketball in high school. That's when it leaned forward, and I saw its face in the sliver of light from my phone. My face. My exact face, staring back at me with an expression I'd never made. A smile that was too wide, too knowing. Eyes that reflected the phone light like an animal's. He, whatever it was, spoke in my voice. Your turn. I haven't moved from my bed in 6 hours. Can't move. Won't move. The closet door is opening wider now, 1 millimeter at a time. The chair hasn't budged, the tape hasn't torn. But the opening grows anyway, defying physics, defying reality. I can see more of it now, more of me. It's wearing my old t-shirt, the one I thought I'd lost, my sweatpants. It moves like me, breathes like me, even has the same nervous habit of cracking its knuckles. And I realize I've had it backwards this whole time. All those mornings I woke up exhausted, with no memory of the night before. All those times I found things moved, rearranged, organized in ways I'd never organized them. All those moments I felt like I was forgetting something important, like there was a gap in my memory I couldn't quite bridge. I'm not the one who lives here. I'm not the one who goes to work, pays bills, maintains friendships. I'm not the one who exists in daylight. I'm the one who's been hiding in the closet. And now it's time to switch back. The door is fully open now. It's standing at the foot of my bed, wearing my face, holding out my hand. I can feel myself rising, even though I don't want to. My legs swing over the side of the bed. My feet touch the cold floor. I'm walking toward the closet. It's walking toward my bed. But if you're reading this, and you have a closet in your bedroom, I need you to check it. Right now. Open the door slowly. Look carefully at the shadows between your clothes. And if you see something move, if you feel that warm, skin-warm presence, ask yourself this. When was the last time you remember hanging something up? When was the last time you truly remember going to sleep? Are you sure you're the one who's been living your life? Or are you the one who only comes out at 3 a.m.,